I start my homepage design by choosing a color palette and 2 fonts. I'm going to the Canva color palette generator just because I want to have a lot of different options available. I've searched fall as my color palette, and then I can just go through and see what appeals to me. Once I've found something I like, I take a screenshot so that I can use that when I'm working to create my graphics later. The next thing I'm going to do is head to dafont.com. It's a free website for different fonts. I'm going to choose a cursive font and a serif font. When I choose my cursive font, I like to go in and put the words or phrases that I'm going to use. I find this to be helpful because I can see automatically sort of what it's going to look like. I also like to include a number because there are lots of fonts that don't come with numbers when you're getting them for free. After I've found something I like, I'm going to check and make sure that it has punctuation so that I have that accessible as well. Then once I have downloaded that, I'm going to head over and choose a serif font. When I look for my serif font, I'm going to open it in a new window so that I can easily go back and forth between my handwriting font and my serif font. Serif fonts tend to come more complete than the handwriting fonts do, so that's less of an issue, and it's more just a matter of what you think is going to look nice with the handwriting font you've chosen. So once you think you've found something that you like, then you can go ahead and download that, and then we'll transition over to where we're going to design the banner, which is in PowerPoint. I choose PowerPoint because it's more robust than Google, but still easy to use. So on my first slide, I'm going to put the screenshot of the color palette as well as the 2 fonts that I selected. Then I'll open a new slide and I'll start testing out different ways of writing the course name so that I can see what looks good with the font that I chose. Here I'm testing it out writing English 9, the number 9, as well as writing English 9, N-I-N-E, and I'm testing out if I do it in lowercase or if I do it in uppercase and lowercase. As I'm looking at this, I'm starting to notice that I don't really like the 9. The 9 sort of looks a little bit like a G, and if I were using this font for other purposes, it probably wouldn't bother me, but since the course name is English 9, that's something that I'm noticing. So I think I'm going to go back and find another font that has a more traditional style 9. So I'll just go back to DaFont and try to find something that looks similar to what I have because I like it, but has the 9 that I'm looking for. So I did go back and I found something that looks remarkably similar. The uppercase E is probably the biggest difference. You'll see it in just a second, but I don't mind the change. So hopefully this will solve my problems. If not, then it would be back to DaFont again. So as you can see, that uppercase E is the biggest, most noticeable difference. The other differences besides the 9 are pretty minimal. So I'm going to go ahead and just again take a look at all of my options that I've come up with and see what's going to work best for me, and then I'll start playing with the color palette. I'm actually kind of happy that I went back for the 9 because I like this E better. And I think I don't even actually want to use the number 9. So now I'm going to start to manipulate this so it looks more like how I want the banner for the home page to look. So I'm going to bring in my color palette. I'm just going to copy and paste it. I'm going to use the eyedropper to change the color so I can make it pretty small. And I don't need to know the hex codes because I'm using the eyedropper, although Canva does include it, so that's helpful. So once I found a color that I like, I'm going to add in my name. Again, this is for the home page, so I want to have my name. And I'm going to do my name in the serif font. And what I want to do is nestle my name right up in between the G and the N. I find that when you do things like this, it makes it look more customized and less like you did it in Word or something like that. And then I will also use my eyedropper to go back to the color palette in order to change the color of that font. So as I'm looking at this, I like it, but it looks a little flat to me. So I think what I'm going to do is play with the depth of the English 9 part a little bit. So I want to create almost like a shadow. So I'm going to go in and change the color of English 9. I'm going to make it this sort of lighter stone color. And then I'm going to copy and paste this, and on the top layer, I'm going to use the color that I liked originally. I did the wrong color. I'll have to go back and fix that. Sort of line them up, and then I'll change the color. Now, once I've changed the color, what I'm going to do is on that top layer, I'm going to use my arrow keys in order to change the position to create almost like a little bit of a shadow. And that's going to add quite a bit of depth and make it look more customized. Now what I need to do is save this as a photo. So I'm going to select everything and group it together, and then right click and save it as a picture. And I'm going to use this later when we go in to add it to the home page. In the next video, we're going to be looking at adding some buttons to your home page.